Excuse the hair on my chest. I came home to so much love and I'm exhausted. Today was so hard and this is like a really big day for me. Not really in any kind of special context, but I said, you know what, instead of ranting or holding all my feelings in, why don't I just make a video? Because whenever I've had a bad day or I'm going through something in life that I don't understand, what I normally do is go online, sometimes and look up, certain topics or, different sermons or spiritual speakers. And I try to figure out, okay, what can I learn from this? What can I get from this? And I really have to pee, you guys. So at some point, I'm probably going to get off and not get off like that. I mean, like, probably put my phone down and come back because I really have to pee now. I have to go to the bathroom. But I just started a live stream. So anyway, today was really hard. And I'm like, you know what? Why not just get this off my chest? Like once I upload this video and put tags on it and special stuff on it, like at some point somebody somewhere is going to see this video. So I'm like, why not just make a video? I mean, a part of life is not always having, amazing days. Especially like with being a young adult or an adult, like life is not when we're kids, when we are a certain age or have certain life experience, we don't think that life can be the way it is sometimes, and nothing happened to me. Nothing happened to me today, but I just, nothing, there was no event. There was no, like me getting in trouble. There was no argument, there was no accident, like nothing happened to me today. It's just more so of me. The reason why I'm in this energy right now is more so because, I just miss who I used to be, I miss, and even though I'm an adult now, one thing, bills and work and all that, I get that, but like I genuinely miss the fact that I just used to be happy, like just happy in general, I never felt the need to let people down or let people be proud of me. I never really had that issue, I mean, I've always done very well in school. I've always, you know, in my opinion, been like a goody two shoes. But it's not. It wasn't because of like me wanting to be that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more so of like, okay, I was raised a certain way. I gotta pee. I'm near the bathroom. I was raised a certain way. So as I can recall, growing up, like I never had issues. I just never had issues like that. I always did my homework. I always was very polite to teachers, had a lot of friends, had a lot of I mean, I really had no issue. You see what I'm saying? And then it's like you just grow up and life opens up more and then you just see I gotta pee. You just see how horrible it is, and I hate to sound like that, but it's like you get to a certain age, and especially now in the times we're living in really really bad times. We're living in a time that is really really dark, really hard times. So it's like multiplied. I feel like all the things that I would have felt at a certain age, being somewhat normal, I feel like in this age, in this decade, in this time is like 1,000 times worse. Like that's how it feels right now. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, you guys. I'm gonna just put my thing on mute. I gotta pee. I just got home. I don't really have much time. I have to go make dinner, but I'm just gonna put my thing on mute and I'll come back, okay? I have to pee so bad. I'm back, y'all. Sorry about that. I had to use the bathroom. So anyway, you know, so today I cried a lot. I cried a lot today. Oh my God, is this gonna stay up or no? One sec. Ow, that hurt. Bro. Alright, I'm just gonna do it like this. 1 second, you all. I'm coming back. Ah! This hurts so bad. Okay, I'm back. That's better. I feel more like myself right now. So, basically, you know, a lot of times, hopefully the connection's okay. So, yeah, like a lot of times if you're crying or upset or unhappy, you know, it's normally because, you know, somebody's done something to you, or, you know, life didn't go your way, or maybe you were in love with somebody and they broke your heart. Like, you know, that's normally what happens. But like, I've not been crying for any of those reasons in a weird way. Like, I have cried more in the past week than I've ever cried in my whole life, in my opinion, because it's like so many epiphanies, so much realization, like so much is hitting me. And I just genuinely feel like, you know, I find a lot of times, like, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but like a lot of times I just find myself questioning, like, you know, what is the purpose of all of this? You know, what is the purpose? You know, we don't live forever, you know, in this body, in this vessel. Like, no matter how hard I work, no matter what I do, like, this is not forever, you know, like this is not forever. You know, you could have the most beautiful house, but you're not going to live in that house forever. You know, you're going to have to give that house to somebody. You're going to have to, you know, one day realize that that house is going to be for your kids, or your great grandkids, and that you're not going to be around, you know. And that's trippy to me, you know. Like, I feel like in my life, I've had times in my life where I felt so low, you know, and I've cried enough today. So if I cry again, it's because if I cry, it's because I feel like there's nothing else I could do. But, you know, I feel like I've had times in my life where I felt so low, I felt so helpless, I felt so confused. And I'm still alive, you know, I'm still here. And there's so many people I look up to. There's so many people that I know are so amazing, you know, and they're gone, you know, and by gone, I mean they're dead. They're not even alive, you know, they're not even here. And, you know, some are celebrities, some are not celebrities. And, you know, a lot of times it confuses me, you know, it confuses me because I'm like, this person, this person is so amazing. This person gave the world something so special, you know, and here's me, you know, little old me, you know, who am I compared to that person? And, you know, I'm alive and that person is dead, you know, that confuses me. That confuses me a lot. So this may be a 3-hour video, by the way, because I'm hungry. I was gonna have some food that I bought yesterday that I didn't get to finish. It was too much in a good way. So I put it in the fridge and I was gonna warm it up, but I don't feel like I'm ready because I'm on the YouTube, and I kind of like just prefer to relax, you know, just talk in the camera, relax, let my thoughts out. And I'm sure when I play it back, it's gonna make sense, you know. Maybe right now, because I feel very emotional and I feel like overwhelmed, it may feel like I'm all over the place now, but like whenever I watch back my videos, it always makes sense to me, you know. And obviously it makes sense to a lot of you guys out there because, you know, I see the response, and so that makes me feel good. But, you know, in a weird about way, I feel like I wouldn't use the word dream, you know. I wouldn't use the word dream, because to me dream is something that's like lucid. You know, you can't really touch it. It's like through your fingertips. It's outer worldly, really, outerly dimensional, really. And I wouldn't use the word dream. Maybe goal, maybe life post, maybe mission is a better word. But whatever word is similar to dream or goal or accomplishing or so-called success, which that word I'm not really a fan of anymore, but I've done a lot of that in my life already. You know, like I was driving home and I'm like, there's so many so-called dreams or goals that if I had to look down at myself and say, okay, this person did this, okay, she did that, okay, I'd be fine, you know? I don't believe that God will take me home anytime soon. But if he did, if God did, or whatever that power, that source is, did, I would for a fact look down and be like, okay, I did what I had to do, you know, like everything I wanted to do, I've done. Like, for real. Some people live a long life, but they never have done anything they want to do, you know? They've gone to college because their parents wanted them to. They've married a certain kind of woman or man because society tells them to. They've, you know, had a certain amount of kids because they think it's the right thing to do. Or say, for example, you know, somebody takes a certain kind of job because they think they're supposed to, you know, typical life, you know. And so, you know, they live, let's say, for example, to 65 or 70 or 80, but they've never done anything that they wanted to do. You know, they've all their choices in life have been because of financial pressure or cultural pressure or their parents putting pressure on them or society, which is a big one, society, government, religion, you know, blase, like a person who's not played it safe, but they've done things because they think it's the right thing to do. You know, most people fall in that category. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is on a soul level, on a spirit level, on a heart level, inside, they've never done anything that they wanted to do. You know, let's say for an example, let's give an example. There's a man who's lived up to 70 years old, you know, 70 years old. And you know, all his life, you know, his parents said to him, you know, get straight A's, go to college, become a doctor, you know. Whereas in his heart, in his heart, you know, all he ever wanted to do was be an artist, be a creative, be a painter. Like, you know, he could draw or sketch nature. He could take certain crayons and colors and textures and all types of things and make something beautiful, would do good in elementary school if he's in America, would do good in elementary school, would do good middle school, high school, all the typical shit. But, all his life, he's done things. He's done things for other people. He's never done nothing for himself. His from his kids to his career to how he worships God or the creator or sort. I mean, the way he lives is just like somebody putting a template of what they wanted this person to be and saying, here, do this, do that. And maybe nobody forced him, maybe nobody repeatedly said anything to him about his choices, but subconsciously it's like he's on autopilot. This person is not operating from their being, their soul, their spirit, their heart. Like, they're not operating on that level, So what I'm trying to say is, like, at least with my life and myself, I've not lived like that. I'm not saying that I've always had 1,000% control over the circumstances of my life, but it's like, at least I'm not gonna be that person, who from the jump just never followed their heart, just never tried, never took a leap of faith. I've taken many leaps of faith. I've taken some leaps of faith in my life that I thought I would never take in this lifetime, ever. And I have, and so, I'm sure people who are older than me, way older than me, would say, oh, your life is just starting. What do you know? You're overthinking or whatever. But, like, no, like, I know myself very well. A part of my spiritual awakening was this whole concept of know thyself, understand what triggers you. I'm going to cover this because it's actually, like, making me not focus. One sec. And I don't care about that. I just kind of just want to talk and just get it off my chest. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I like that. No light. I don't need the light. Yeah, that works for me. Let's see if that will work, y'all. One sec. I just want to see if this will cover it. It won't, will it? Anyway, well, it didn't work. So, I've lived a lot. I mean, I may be only in my 20s, but I feel like I've lived eons. I feel like I've lived so many lives. I really do. And I know it in my blood, like, I can't really describe it any other way. It's just like, I know what I know. You know what I'm saying? I know what I know. So, yeah, like, there's not many things in life that I need or want or crave to have. Like, there's so many things in my mind that, from a very young age, I was very motivated. I was very driven. I was drawn to do certain things, and I've done them all. I've literally done them all. So I'm at a point in my life this young where I'm like, okay, well, why burn myself out? Why make myself sick? Why try to let what people say about me, or let people's opinions of me, which we all have. We're all going to have opinions about each other, whether you know the person or not. You know, we all have opinions about celebrities, about random people. Like, that's just human nature. You know, that's literally human nature, is you don't have to know somebody to make a judgment. You don't. you don't have to you don't have to even talk to a person in person. Oh my god. It was raining to to have a judgment. Sorry, y'all. It's cold. It was raining all week. Sorry, I apologize. It's freezing in my house right now. And I need to go sleep. I haven't really been sleeping well, in my opinion. I haven't been resting the way I need to rest. I'm sneezing. So, yeah, I don't know. You know, I don't know if other star seeds or people can relate, but it's like there's nothing I want. There's nothing I crave. There's nothing that, like, would force me to go against my morals, would force me to go against my intuition, would force me to go against my essence. Like, there's nothing that I want. You know, sure, there's pretty handbags, and there's cars that I think are nice looking, but you know, when reality sets in and you think about the maintenance and how much it costs, and you know, when you add like the you know, real life to all the things you think you want, your what do you call it, like, your perspective changes. You know, like before, when I was much younger, I always say, oh, you know, I think Lamborghinis are nice. You know, I think Lamborghini is a nice car. And then it's like, as I get older, I'm like, okay, I've seen so many Lamborghinis. You know, I've sat in a Lamborghini. Like, what does it do for me? You know, I'm not saying that if somebody gifted me a Lamborghini, or I wanted a Lamborghini, or you know, but I wouldn't take it. I'm not stupid. Of course I would. What I'm saying is that it's not like it's like a carrot dangling over my face, like, oh, you must have this to be happy. Like, no. You know, when I was not awakened, I used to be like that. You know, I would think that I would have to have certain things, or a certain person, or a certain lifestyle to be happy. And what, not what's sad, but what's so strange about it is, once I got all those things, I realized that, okay, that actually is no different. Like, it's no different. So it makes me think, you know, which I don't think will ever happen, most likely in this lifetime, but like, it makes me think, okay, I've been in this bedroom amount of house, pool, everything you could think of. And then to go even higher than that and get a mansion, there's no difference. Like, a house is a house is a house. You know, like, a room is a room is a room. And I'm sure people watching me or listening to me are going to say, oh my God, this lady's crazy. What is she saying? She's lost her mind. No, like, the mindset and where I'm thinking from is not the normal level of awareness, I would say. When you're in a very emotional state, or like you had a certain kind of day, you just think different. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if I was in a better mood, I wouldn't think like that. But at the same time, I have been in better moods. You know, I have had better days. I have been on a high of life, and I've felt the same way, like, truthfully. So now I'm just like, okay, now that I see the reality of all these things that were dangling in front of me, that didn't make me, it didn't change me, it didn't make me, like, okay, so what's the point? Like, what was the point of all of that? You know, I'm questioning, like, okay, you know, And a lot of those things I've been going through is like it's so close, but it's so far. It's like you think you have it, you think that it's gonna change something in your life, and then when you get it, you're like, oh, that's all that was. That's it. Like, so it's weird. It's really weird. Um, so I don't know if people have been my age during two pandemics, economic crisis, war in Europe. I mean, I don't know if people my age have felt the way I feel. I'm sure they have, but when you're going through something, or when you feel like your feelings have changed about something, or you know you just have a different perspective on something, a lot of times it's very easy to feel alone because it's just even if you talk to your friends, like I've talked to my friends and I'm like, okay, I hear what they're saying, okay, but like it's still me though, what I'm saying? I'm the one living it. Somebody hearing what you're going through is not the same as somebody, well, it will never be the same as somebody in your shoes thinking how you think. Never. Even if somebody will say, oh, I've been through something similar. Okay, well, you still didn't go through what I went through. So, it's called sympathy for a reason. Not that you've actually, not that you actually can get even as close to what the person's feeling, but it's just the nice card. Oh, I feel bad for you, so I'll try to. But even if you're married, even if you have you're a parent, whoever, whatever, like they'll never be in your brain. You know, even something as deep as a twin flame, like nobody is ever gonna 100% or even 70% feel what you're feeling in that moment. All they can do is relay, is bounce back, is listen or hear. Hear is lighter than listen. Listening is really taking it in, but hearing is just okay. I could hear it, but I'm paying attention. So it's you. That's why a lot of times I relate to life like it's like one player mode. It's for me, a lot of times life feels like it's just I'm on single player mode. You know, even when I have and I have and the thing is I have amazing people in my life. I really do, like, but to me it's just like, okay, they're not me though. They're not my shoes. They're not feeling how I feel right now. They're not in my head. They're just there. They're just there. So it's like, yeah, that's how life feels. And especially since the pandemic, like I think the pandemic kind of just illuminated that even bigger for me. Is like, it's you versus whatever, whenever, you know. And I do believe in God, so, people that don't even believe in God, that's not even in the equation. They just live every day saying there is no God, there is no help, there is no Savior, there is no Jesus, there is no Allah, there is no Buddha, there is no Krishna, there is no Shiva, there is not, I mean, they live like there's nothing. There's no divine energy. There's no source. There's no beginning. There's no end. They live not even agnostic. They live like atheists. They live believing that there is nothing special about any of us. There's nothing special about the elements. There's nothing particularly divine about a working solar system. Like I may not buy into certain holy books and all that, but like even I can stop and say something is divine about the fact that that life is the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Good or bad or indifferent. Like the fact that we're floating, you know? People have different conspiracies or ideas of what we're living on and if we're in a hologram. I mean, I'm just saying for the purpose of what they told us, in terms of a planet and being in space, if you believe that, which I'm not saying I do, I'm just saying if you believe that, you know what I'm saying? There's something to me miraculous about that idea that something could be in space or even we could see space and we're here and there's other dimensions and other solar systems and galaxies and I mean, that is godlike to me. I'm not saying that, and when I say that, and with that said, I'm not saying that God is good or bad or evil, or I'm not putting no moral filter on it. Source is source. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm sure in that Bible, if we're gonna talk about the Bible, it does speak about the fact that so-called God, made everything, and what a lot of atheists or agnostics, not even Christianity, just in general, any kind of religion, from Judaism to Hindu to whatever, like what a lot of them always rebuttal back and say is, oh well, God is love and God is this and God, but like in a lot of the real deep texts, it says that he made everything or it made everything or she made everything. They say that, like they didn't just make the good, they are also responsible for the bad. And that's when a lot of atheists or agnostics chime in and say, well, you can't cherry pick creation. You can't cherry pick life. You can't cherry pick God. If you say that God made good, then you must agree that God made bad. And that's where the whole, plot twist comes in, is God really evil? Is source really bad? Is it not as good as people filter it to be, or Jesus especially? You can't filter Jesus as a bad person. I mean, if you believe in that, I'm not saying I do, I'm just saying, like, if let's take Jesus for example. You tell a Christian that Jesus is an evil maker, is an evil doer, they're gonna try to, do a exorcist on you. They're gonna call you blasphemous. So what I'm saying is, like, that's how complicated life is. Everybody everybody has a whole different idea of what so-called God even is. And that's the part for me that I tend to not digest very well. Because what is it? Is it good? Is it bad? What is the fact? And a lot of things in life, there is no fact. There is no proof. you know even if we go back in past lives, or we do Akashic records and all this other fancy stuff. I mean, we don't have proof. We don't know what this is. We don't we don't not definitively. On a soul level, I will agree. On a past life level, on a spiritual level, of course, all of us have our own idea of why we're here and what God really is, or if there even is a God. I mean, I can go so deep on it, but what I'm saying is, like, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. Like, there is no definitive beginning or end. Everything is hypothetical. Even scientists is hypothetics. you know Before a scientist can state something as a fact, what I learned from biology, what I learned from other basic science classes all the way from elementary school, is they said, until a scientist even says something as fact, it's a hypothesis. A scientist can say one year that there is 15 planets, or there's two galaxies or three and then within half a century or maybe even a decade, they say, oh, that's wrong. We've discovered other systems out there. So what happened to the scientist saying that that was a fact? Now new evidence is coming, new data is coming, new photographic proof is coming, and now that same scientist is saying, nope, I was wrong. I got it mixed up. There's actually more. So it's never really a fact. It's never really a fact, and I don't know. I don't know why people that are religious or even spiritual, not really, but like more religious, I don't understand why they have such a problem with somebody saying, I got lucky. I'm the kind of person, where, if something just abnormally cool happens to me, like something, yes, baby, I'm fine. Like something that I didn't manifest, something good happens to me. I'm a kind of person, not all the time, but I'm a kind of person that will say, oh, I have good luck, or oh, I got lucky, or oh, and then here will come somebody saying to me, no, you're blessed, you're highly favored, or that's God's blessing on you. Why can't it just be, I got lucky? you know, why can't I as a human being in this context just say, I got lucky? It was a lucky luck of the draw, you know. But if you are on that side of the spectrum, some people that are more extreme will say, oh no, it was God's divine plan. Oh, that's God's blessing, or that's God's curse. Or like, I don't know why we got to take it that deep. I don't understand why it has to be seen in that perspective. Why can't, like, I'll take it even deeper. Why can't somebody just say for the whole life that maybe, let's say for an example, it's Paris Hilton. I'm going to take it there. Let's say for an example, it's Paris Hilton, right? Paris Hilton was born into a dynasty. Paris Hilton was born to a 1%, 1 to 5% wealthy, rich family, okay? Was that God's blessing, or was that luck? Or was it both? Why, what if Paris Hilton came out tomorrow and said, all my life, people have asked me, how did I get so rich? How did I get so famous? How did I get so successful? And she'll say, oh, well, I did what I could, and I got lucky with a certain grandfather and certain parents. And then here comes somebody across the room saying, no, 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 that's God's divine plan for you, Paris. You were destined to be a rich daughter of, or granddaughter of so and so. So that's what I'm trying to get at, is like, it's very confusing. It's very polarizing the way life is. Like, why can't someone just get lucky? Why does it have to be they did something wrong to get that, or even right to get that result? Why can't it just be, okay, luck of the draw, They got lucky. A lot of things in my life, I kind of tie to just luck, honestly. Like, yeah, a lot of things I work for, a lot of things I've had sleepless nights, majority. But there's been also aspects of my life where I say, oh, I got lucky, I got lucky, and so I don't shy away from that, whereas other people will curse that. Will say, how could you say that? That was God's plan. That was a blessing. Was it? I mean, and then what happens if that blessing, something goes wrong? And then what, they're going to say it's a curse now? I mean, come on. That to me doesn't seem sane. I mean, like, why does everything have to be a punishment or a promotion? Why can't you just live life? Why can't you just live and just see how things go? Why does everything have to be so intense, you know. And even though I'm naturally a very intense sign astrologically, mentally, emotionally, due to my places, my chart, I don't behave that way. I could if I want to. I could think that way if I want to. Let's say, for an example, you're a Gemini or you're an Aries or even a Taurus, you know. These signs, Leo, oh God, you know, signs like that, you know, zodiac signs like that are known to be very intense and directional and confrontational and matter of fact. And you could be that, but at the same time, somebody with that personality or that zodiac sign may not act exactly how people expect them to act. So in my own life, you know, I've always liked to be very zen. I think even from, let's say, sophomore year, junior year. Yeah, sophomore, junior year, high school. You know, I would catch myself saying, you know, I don't want to go extreme with that. I don't want to do all that. You know, I just want to be even keel, you know. And throughout my life, you know, due to certain personalities or situations, people have had a problem with that with me. They're like, you know, you're too nonchalant, or you're too this, or you're too that. And I, you know, why aren't you more this, or why don't you feel that? And I'm like, no, I just don't like to live like that, you know. I feel, I don't know if this is a fact, but I feel like, you know, in a previous life, like my last life, my last two lives, I remember, you know. And I was not a woman. I was not a woman. I was a man. And I had a lot of responsibility. I had children. I had a wife. You know, some people can recall past lives, others cannot. You know what I'm saying? I can. And so, been there, seen there, done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know for a fact that I've lived lives where I was like under a lot of pressure, you know, in weird kind of environmental conditions where I had to be like in literally survival mode, you know, like do or die, like someone's gonna get you, you know. And you know, for the most part, I was fine. I was resilient. I was strong. And so now I feel like with this life, in this life, I'm so tired of that. You know, I'm so used to being that character of the go-getter, the first one in the pack to, you know, like the inventor, the creator, like, because in other lives I've done that, you know, in other lives, especially as a man, I've had to be that because I had a family, because I had a wife, because I had kids, because I had responsibility, duties on my shoulder. And now in this life as a woman, you know, I'm like, okay, here we go again. You know what I'm saying? Like, me against the world, crazy conditions, you know, economy bad, weather bad, politics bad, you know, world affairs bad, economic affairs bad, health in the world bad. You know, here we go again. And it just brings, it's like it brings up like a I can feel it. It's like it brings up something for me. Like I can feel that, okay, I've been here before. I've done this before. You know, that's what it feels like to me. It's like, okay, here we go again. You know, life wanting to trick me. You know, life wanting to pull the beast out of me, the warrior out of me. And in this life, I'm tired. You know, in this life, I'm like, I know where this is heading. I know what this is about, and I don't want to do it. You know, and some people that are very close to me and know me, it's almost like in their mind they look at me, they see how I am behind the scenes, and they automatically say, oh, she could do it, you know, she could do it. They're not wrong, but spiritually, in my essence, in this body, in this life, I have a choice. That's the difference. Maybe in another life due to whatever circumstance, I didn't have that choice. You get what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at? Like, I didn't have a choice, you know? And in this life, I have maybe not as many choices I would like, but I have this spiritual knowing, and I have the inner confidence and the soundness of mind to say yes or no. Whereas I feel like before I didn't. It was kind of like survival, like, okay, like I said, you have a family, you have all these people counting on you. What are you going to do? You know? And in this life, it's the complete opposite. I don't have a family. I don't have, not like that. I mean, like, I don't have, like, I'm not married. I don't have kids. So that's why I'm constituting this example as a family. I don't have that responsibility. I don't have somebody over my shoulder saying, here's the kid's bill, here, this son needs clothes, or Sydney's sick again. Like, I don't have that I don't have that responsibility. I don't have that pressure, especially either. Whereas in, like, other lives, I did. I did, and I didn't have any room to make a mistake. It was either I do this or I die. And in this life, I don't have that. I don't have any kid, pulling my leg. I don't have any spouse saying, "Hey, the rent's due. We need to make money, or we're going to be put on the street." I don't have that situation. I don't. So, now as a woman in this body, in this life, I'm like, shit, why would I do that again? And see, people that know me, like, really know me, like, like my personal life, like family, my parents, my grandparents, like, if I say something's too hard, or that I can't do something, or even people I like over the internet, like maybe one of you guys watch me, you'll say in your head, "Oh, she could do it. She'll be fine." "Oh, that shouldn't be hard for her." You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but I'm making that choice now. You see, I'm the one now who has a final gavel that says, "Okay, I could do it. I could do it, but do I want to? Do I have to? Is it worth the risk?" Like, now I'm more thinking about it, chewing on it, seeing, okay, how do I feel about it? Whereas I know for a fact in a previous life, and many lives, or even when I was younger, let's say, I didn't have that ability. I never mastered that ability of reasoning, pro and con and calculated risk, and I never thought like that. Never. So it's a whole different ball game. This is a whole different ball game, and I know for people that don't believe in incarnation or reincarnation, I'm so sorry. I know that whole that whole spiel I just got must have put your head in a in a knot, and you're like, what is she talking about? She's insane. But for those who do believe, for those who are watching right now live, and you do believe in Akashic records, you do believe in past lives, you do believe in incarnation, reincarnation, you know what I'm trying to say, in a way. You may not know 100%, but you have an idea, a small idea of what I'm trying to get at, right? Which is that on a soul level, on an essence level, I know that in other lives, I was not a woman. I was a man. And I know what I did, the kind of job I had, the kind of skin color I had, where I was in the world. I could tell you all of that. Like, I remember it. You know what I'm saying? And I was a man. I wasn't a woman. So it was like very different time, different age, different environment, different clothes. I mean, everything was different, you know what I'm saying? So coming into this vessel, this body, this lifetime, and seeing what's happening around me, you know, I'm kind of like, uh-oh, you know, I'm like, uh-oh, here we go again. Here comes a trap. Here comes a setup, you know. I could see it. Like, and I know this may creep some people out. I don't want to creep you out, but it's like I could see it, you know. It's like I could see it coming from a mile away, bro. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. You know, it's like, oh my God. It's like you can't get out of it. It's like it's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's like, oh my God, this again, really, you know, and that's how it feels. This is how it feels right now for me. So I'm just like, oh man, I'm like, why am I doing this again? You know, why am I here again? Why am I going through this again? That's how it feels for me, you know. That's how it feels. Like, oh man, you know, this is a lot. This is too much, you know. I'm like, oh, this is too much. This is too much. So, you know, like I said, there's millions and billions and trillions of people on this planet. So I know that even if it's you guys watching me, you never felt like this. I know at least one person has, and that's good. That's good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's a very peculiar feeling I'm going through right now, and it's very hard to describe. But this is the best way I could describe it. It's like I felt this way before, you know. It's like I've lived life enough where I'm like, oh, here we go again, you know. Here we go again. Here we go again. The same tricks, the same traps, the same the same bullshit, but just in a different age, with different people, different same problems but different faces, you know, different. It's like, let's say for an example, it's like, you know, a war somewhere. You know, it may not have been that war in that time, but now we have the war in Ukraine. So it's kind of like that. Like, okay, I've seen this before, I've experienced this before, but it's in a different decade, it's a different era. Like that's how it feels, you know. It's like you know what's coming. You see how this is going. You see what path this is going down, but you can't. It's inevitable. It's like it's like even if you wanted to look away, you can't. Even if you wanted to try to escape somewhere, you can't. You're stuck. You know, it's like you're stuck. You know, and that's why a lot of people say that well, that, you know, it's a game. It's a matrix, it's a simulation, you know. Some people get very offended, you know, like, once again, people especially who believe in certain holy books and all that and whatever, or not, you know, they get very touchy on it. They say, oh, it can't be, you know, it's divine, you know. People get offended for different things. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying, like, you know, people don't like to talk about theories and what they think about holograms and all this type of, you know, everybody's different, you know. Maybe you're not a faith-based believer in any religion necessarily, and you're spiritual and you still don't agree, you know, you still don't think that it's a simulation. Okay, that's your right. That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody has a different opinion. It's too much, you know. There's nothing factual. It's just, oh, I think this or you think that. Oh, I don't like you. Like, it's stupid, you know. So there's so many possibilities. There's so many. It's endless. It's a loop. It's oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. But what I'm saying is, how do you describe this? You know, how do you describe this? How do you describe knowing something before it happens? How do you describe, you know, the Akashic records? How do you describe knowing about a previous life? How do you describe when your intuition or your gut tells you something is happening, whether good or bad, and you feel it and it happens exactly what you thought or felt? How do you describe that? You know, that's how, or deja vu, or an epiphany, or a dream that you've had before, and then the dream comes true exactly how you dreamed it. How do you describe that? What is spiritual or faith or science? What Nothing can really describe that, you know? It's outer worldly. It's beyond our the mechanism of the brain that we do use, the part of our brains we do use. You know, it goes so deep. It goes so deep, and that's why I'm like, how? You know, how do you just continue like that, you know, forever? Like for years. Like how does a human, how do we do this, you know, year after year? If you think about it in that way, in that context, it's overwhelming. It is overwhelming, you know. But not to say that I do, I'm just saying like that's how I feel right now. It's like, what is this? You know, what have I got myself into now? That's how I feel right now. It's like, what did I get myself into now? Oh, you know, came down here, got myself in this body, this skin, this country, this planet, this dimension. How? What? Why? What did I do now? You know, that's how it feels. Like, what did I do now? What did I sign up for now? Great, awesome, and I hate it. Like deep down, like I hate it. You know, where is the exit button? Where's the exit sign? Where's the escape? Where's the portal? How do I get out of here? You know, I'm just being honest. That's how it feels for me a lot of times. You know, it's like today. You know, that's how I felt today. It's like, how do I unplug from life? You know, how do I get a breather from life? How do I just push it all away and just boop, nothing, nothing, nothing? How? You know, meditation, of course, of course. But you don't always have the opportunity to meditate. You know, sometimes you're at work or you're busy. You can't always just stop and, you know, go into, you know, you can't always meditate on the clock or at home or whatever. So you have to kind of just cope, just cope, you know? So it's just one of those days, but what time is it on the clock? Yeah, I'm gonna get off soon. So I just kind of hope that I was able to express myself correctly. I feel like somebody's saying behind the camera watching me, oh, do you feel the void? Do you feel like the void? I know some people who've had a spiritual awakening, they talk about the void a lot or like the black hole or whatever. I mean, no, I wouldn't say that. I've had that feeling before. I've had that whole moment before in my spiritual awakening. Not having it right now, but I've had it before. So if you're watching and you're saying, oh, this sounds like the void or the dark night of the soul, this sounds like, yeah, you're probably right. You know, you're probably right that there is probably bits and pieces of those things that you do experience, you know, with a spiritual awakening that I have experienced, that I'm familiar with. But this right here that I'm feeling, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I can't even tell you. I couldn't tell you, honey. I couldn't tell you. So that's my ramble. That's my video, you guys. I'm gonna go put on. Gonna get something to eat. I'm hungry. So anyway, y'all. Hi, baby. If y'all have thought, what is in his dish? 1 second. I'm gonna take the best nap of my life. If y'all have thought that you guys have felt weird things and weird emotions and you know, you've had weird days and you've had a breakdown or a breakthrough or whatever, you know, this video should reassure you that I've been there too. So I'll see y'all another time. All right, bye.